have some research to do at the office.
Yes.
But I'll be home in time for dinner.
Ooh, then I'll cook something for you.
Would you do that for me?
I'd be happy to.
What will you make?
I don't even know yet.
Will it be something I can recognize?
I hope.
I'll see you there.
Okay,
Goodbye, Alvin.
Goodbye, Mrs. Huxtable.
I'll go get some under for you.
Dr. Huxtable?
Yes, sir.
Your wife goes to work and you cook?
Right.
Well, doesn't it ever bother you that when you come home at night, there's not always a hot meal waiting for you?
Oh, no. Sometimes my wife comes home and there's no hot meal waiting for her. What's your point?
Well, I just feel it confuses things when a woman works. My mother works, and I don't like it. You know, sometimes when I come home, there's nothing to eat.
Well, are your hands broken?
Bill Cosby. Let's talk about it.
This morning, embattled comedian Bill Cosby trying to change the narrative. For the first time, responding to questions about the barrage of sexual assault allegations.
Are you prepared for the backlash? If a young person comes up to you and says, you know, my mom says you've done some bad things, how will you answer them? If they are pressing you, are you guilty? Did you do it? Are the allegations true?
I'm not sure that they will come like that. I think that many of them say, well, you're a hypocrite. You say one thing, you say the other. My point is, okay, listen to me carefully. I'm telling you where the road is out. Now, you want to go here or you want to be concerned about who's giving you the message?
Since November, allegations have resurfaced, with more than 30 women coming forward, some accusing Cosby of drugging or sexually assaulting them. His side has issued a number of denials, and Cosby has never been criminally charged. But in an effort to turn the page, Cosby, now part of an initiative, invited by the Black Belt Community Foundation to help bring awareness about the state of underfunded schools near Selma, Alabama. But online, a firestorm.
Starting with Miss Camille Cosby.
Women can lie. We know how they can do the same things that men do, that some men do, because there are good men and bad men. There are good women and bad women.
You have called your husband's accusers a mob of women and say that he was railroaded. What would be the motivation for dozens of women to come forward with similar accusations against your husband, accusing him of sexual assault? And also we have to be mindful that they weren't all white. I mean, there were several black women in those who came forward.
Yeah, just joining the group. But I cannot go into that because there are legal ramifications. But I can only say that there was never any proof, just a whole lot of allegations.
And I don't know if you'll want to respond, but to the critics who have accused you of victim shaming, what do you say? Because quite often in incidents of sexual assault or harassment, doctors and medical experts will say it's difficult to have proof unless you actually went to the hospital after.
I understand that, but still, among so many women who have made claims, they have not ever, none of them, presented any proof, and I think that says a lot.
This lady left her husband in one of the biggest, most public times in his life. What I'm trying to figure out is, where has she been all of this time? We haven't heard a statement. We haven't nothing at all. But she magically appeared when Bill Cosby got out of jail. For her to have left him in such a trying time is an automatic denial. So we're gonna open the door with a quick deny for Mrs. Camille Cosby. Because that's not the role of a wife, especially when your husband is going to jail for something that was proven not to even be true. But we'll get there in a moment. So since we've gotten through her, let's move on over to Felicia Rashad.
How you doing, Alvin?
Hi, Dr. Huxtable.
All right.
Thanks for letting me in. It's okay. Hi, Mrs. Huxtable.
Hello, Elvin.
Is Sandra ready?
Well, not yet, but she'll be down in a little while. Would you and Dr. Huxtable like some coffee?
Coffee?
Yeah, coffee.
You mean you're gonna get it?
Yes? You're surprised?
I'm sorry, Mrs. Huxtable. I didn't think you did that kind of thing.
What kind of thing?
You know, serve.
Serve whom?
Serve him.
Oh, serve him, as in serve your man?
Well, yeah.
Let me tell you something, Elvis. You see, I am not serving Dr. Huxtable, okay?
Okay.
That's the kind of thing that goes on in a restaurant. Now, I'm going to bring him a cup of coffee, just like he brought me a cup of coffee this morning. And that, young man, is what marriage is made of. It is give and take 50-50. And if you don't get it together and drop these macho attitudes, you are never going to have anybody bringing you anything, anywhere, any place, anytime, ever. Now, what would you like in your coffee?
Felicia Rashad. Felicia. I love Felicia Rashad, and I feel like she should have made a statement, a comment, or whatever she chose on Bill Cosby's behalf, because that's her TV husband. If most of these women stood by their TV husbands, most of them would have probably stayed the full time on the show, aka Janet Hubert. Had everyone played their roles accordingly, they wouldn't have a reason to be focused on what somebody else's TV wife or husband did or is doing. Janet can't even keep a job right now, let alone trying to make a decision on what Felicia should and shouldn't say. Okay? So we're gonna start right there. Okay? I don't feel as though Felicia should have to leave the university that she's the dean of. I don't feel like she needs to do any of that because she's gave countless donations to that same school, and so has Bill Cosby. So don't wait till the shit gets rough and the tough gets going for her to make a statement, for everybody to be in such an uproar and so appalled behind what was said and what was done. Okay? At the end of the day, she did right by making the statement that she did make, which was she was going to stand by him regardless. That's not what she experienced. And so did a lot of other people who were on the Bill Cosby show. And a lot of other people in public settings felt the same way. We're going to stick by him because we know he's innocent. And everybody's entitled to their own opinion. Everybody's entitled to believe what they want. But in my opinion, on one hand, you know, everybody should be entitled to tell their stories. But on another hand, a lot of what has been said thus far has really been, you know, shit that has passed the statute of limitation. 30 years ago, 32 years ago was the longest accusation, okay? So I'm trying to figure out between now and then, and Felicia did right. She deserves an approved this week, okay? I'm definitely going to give her an approved because unlike most of these Hollywood stand-in, stand-by, stand-in wives, all of this, replacements, all of that, she is the only black woman who got on TV and portrayed what it was like to be a black mother in those times, a black successful mother in those times, the head of household. Keep in mind, on TV, she was the working mom, and Bill Cosby was the stay-at-home husband. After which this was around the time that he let go of being a doctor on the show. But like, you know, the roles were reversed. And that was a topic on the show as well, which should have been discussed. But she definitely gets an approved this week from me because she played her role. She played her role just like the rest of the cast did play their role also. She did better than Camille. She stood for him more than Camille. She's making more statements than Camille right about now. So why can't she say what's on her mind or say how she feels in reference to someone who she spent years on TV with and was in close proximity to? Exactly. Moving right on over to Bill Cosby himself.
The wrestlers, they have big bodies. I saw them. It's, yeah, everything is, the guy had pecs. I mean, his pec was all, if I put my body up to his pec would be, if I took his pec and put it, really, if I took his pec, which is like this, now, here, and I put it there, that would be me, this whole side. But see, they're going to get my age, and if they don't keep pumping, and you get this. Just get this. See, I used to have. No. You people just got out of prison, didn't you? No.
Now, Bill Cosby, okay, I had to put Bill up here because just like a few of my past episodes in season 1, you have to blame Bill for this as well. Now, a lot of people may agree to disagree with me, and that's fine on what I'm about to say, but this is just my personal opinion. If you want me to hear your personal opinion, start your own show, and I'll support you too, and I'll give my opinion on your opinion. But, you know, Bill at no point should have been on the path that he was on with said people. A lot of the people that he met through mentorship and allegedly mentorship and a lot of different other stuff. But just as Judge Joe Brown said, you know, a lot of those girls in those days were groupies. I'm not saying that, you know, their stories are lies or they're not telling the truth, but it kind of puts them in an odd place when they use this man's testimony against him. The man never admitted to it. He never denied it. But they took the deposition and tried to make an accusation against him without even having the facts or the evidence to prove said point. Not only that, Bill Cosby sat in jail more than 2 years because of this. If you think I'm about to support a man getting off and suing the legal system who did him wrong, then you're absolutely fucking right. I'm definitely supporting Bill Cosby. I'm definitely team Bill Cosby in this. Because, and no disrespect to the victims, because their stories are their stories, and I can't knock anybody's story for their whatever. But at the end of the day, things should have been said earlier. It kind of was like one person said something and everybody wanted to jump on the bandwagon. And I also kind of have to blame a black media, but I also, not only black media, because it was a mix of the media overall, but this kind of brings me back to Camille Cosby as well. There was at no point did she stand by her husband publicly while countless headlines and countless fucking news interviews and all of this was done. At no point did she make a statement in reference to him. At no point did she make a statement to stand by him, to show solidarity toward him. Nothing. She did nothing. She disappeared in the final hour before the fucking sentence was even gave. Before he was even sent to jail, she was disappeared. She had disappeared. She was gone. So it's kind of like, okay, so yeah, he's wrong for whatever he may have done. But take time and listen to the stories as well as what the people are accusing him of. Because a lot of his accusers have done interviews, and I went back and watched a lot of said interviews because I wanted to get the clear understanding and see the similarities in said stories, right? So a lot of them are claiming that they went to Bill Cosby's house, studio, whatever they met him at, and he sat down, gave them a drink, he gave them a pill, which they willingly took. Mind you, the story about him giving them the drink and the pills and all of that, you had to willingly take that stuff. I don't give a damn if you were 17 or 21. You had to give consent to drink it. He didn't put a gun to your head and make you drink it. He gave you a brown substance and you drank it. He didn't force you into it. You drank it. He gave you pills, you took them. He didn't force you to take them, you took them. You, not knowing what they were and all, you took them. Now, in some cases, some of the victims have said, oh, well, I had a cold, or oh, my stomach was hurting and I asked him for a pain reliever and I didn't know what it was. Even in that case, everybody knows what a Tylenol looked like. Everybody knows what an ibuprofen look like. Everybody knows what an Advil look like. And they've been the same for years. So if that were the case, how could you not know what a pain pill looked like? How could you not know what something that's supposed to be giving you relief looks like? Make that make sense for me. How could you not tell this man if he gave you a drink, a substance that you were not aware of or familiar with, how could you let this man have given you a substance and you drunk it and not told anybody? You took the substance and you drunk it. You took the pills and you drunk it, and you went back to his house. Most of these women have returned to this man's house not once, not twice, but multiple occasions. So if this were the case, at what point were you going to start telling people what was happening to you in this man's house? Let's make this make sense here, because it's not correlating to me. But nevertheless, I'm going to have to give Bill a deny on this one as well, because I love Bill Cosby. Yes, I love Bill Cosby, from the Cosby Show, from all of that. I love Bill Cosby, yes. But in the same token, your lawyers could have handled this different. Your wife could have handled this different. And due to the fact that Bill is somewhat not in the right state of mind, he could have been just a tad bit more vocal about all of this. If he could get out of jail and hold up a peace sign and give interviews to cameras when he fresh out of jail, he have people that's posting on his page, giving statements and posting receipts about lawsuits and all of this, then he could have made a brief statement about the fact that he was wrongfully charged. Okay, and not only that, I need him to take sort of accountability, at least a smidgen of it. You may not have drugged these women, you may not have forced these women into anything, but you did have them at your house privately on more than one occasion, and only you and these people know what's going on. So you need to be more vocal about what's happening. It's over 60 women that have accused him of this, and we've only seen limited receipts. We need the facts. And on that note, I'm going to catch you all next week for a very special episode of Armani's Got the Heat. It's going to be a surprise guest, and this is definitely going to be an episode to remember. And I'm going to talk about somebody that y'all want to hear about, I'm sure. So definitely be back next week for 8:30. Eastern Standard Time, that is. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, comment. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you.